Hello, let's solve pips again today. Why not? Let's try the easy puzzle, see how this one goes. All right, we need a 10, which in this puzzle must be a 6 and a 4. Um, and then we have equals, which looks like it'll be the two 2's. So I think I'll put the 2 and the 4 going into that, which means the 6 and the 3 go into the 10, which leaves 1, 4 to fill our single 4 zone. And then our equals 2 to fill the rest. And there we go. Nice simple puzzle to start off. Let's try the medium one, see how that goes. Okay, so we need a 4 sticking down from the top. In fact, oh, no, sorry, that's greater than 4. Apologies. There could be a number of solutions there. So what's our equivalent area? It looks like that will require the 1s. So that means one of the 1s must go here, because if we put it in the horizontal space, we'd end up with 3 unfillable areas up there. Okay, so now we need the remaining 1 must go horizontal for that same reason. And then the 6 fulfills the greater than 4, so that's fine. We have another equivalence, which will be the zeros. Oops, I guess I didn't take into account the two different 3 large equals, equivalent regions. Sorry about that. So I guess I kind of jumped the gun on that. Hopefully this still fills. So I think we need the double zeros to go there. That's the only possibility. And then we need a 0 and a 5 to fill the equivalence. Now we have a 5 and a 3 to fill the 8. That does succeed in filling the less than 3. That's good. And then finally, greater than 4. We'll put a 6 up there. And that was it. Okay, that wasn't really an ideal solve, but just because I kind of, as I said, I jumped the gun on those two 3-sized equivalences. Let's see how I do with the hard. It's a fairly compact grid compared to some hard puzzles. So let's see. We've got 5 different single cell regions. That's interesting. So a 6, which has 2 possibilities, a 1, which has quite a few possibilities, a 5, I'm just seeing if any of these have only 1 possibility. Okay, the 5 is interesting because we only have 1 domino consisting of 2 5s. It can't point into the 3, because that would overfill the 3. It can't point down into the 1, because that would overfill the 1. It could point into the 7 if we filled the rest of the 7 with a double 1, and it could point up into the 9, potentially. Okay, so we know it goes in one of those 2 spaces, one of those 2 orientations, I should say. And then the 6, I think the 6 and 1 are probably going to point to each other, because if the 1 went into the 7, I guess that would work, potentially, but it would be more difficult. Okay, what about the 4? There's only one 4, actually. So there's another one. Can't point down, so it points into the 9. It points into the 9 one way or the other. We know that for sure. So I'm just going to put it in there, even though I don't know the orientation yet. I'm just going to, just because we know that it does go into the 9. So now, and what that means is we now need to fill the 9 with 3 cells only. And one of them, I guess one of them doesn't technically need to point into the 2. Let's see. We've got quite a few 1s, haven't we? And then an 8. 8 could be filled with a 1, a 2, and a 5, or a 1. No, actually, we can't have a 1, a 3, and a 4 because we've already used the 4 pips in the 4 region. So the 8 must have 1, 2, and 5 in it. No, that's not true. It could have double 1 and a 6. Or no, can't have double 2 and a 4. We've already used the 4. So at least one of the 1s will be used in the 8. We know that. And one of the 1s is used in the 1. Right, okay. So I think that's useful. I think that means maybe what we want to do is have a 1, double 1 bridging the 1 and the 8. Then then we could fill the 8 with a 6, 1. That would leave only a single 6. Okay, I'm going to try that. So again, I'm not sure of the orientation. Actually, it doesn't matter because it would be a square either way. So I think we have a 1, 1, a 6, 1 to fill the 8, and then that only leaves a single 6 to fill this 6 region, which could go into the 7, and then we would need 4 more to fill the 7, which could be the double 2. Now we only have one possibility of 5s, which goes, oh, this isn't working. Okay, I've done something wrong. What did I do wrong here? Sorry, I'm doing very poorly on the hards recently, aren't I? What did I do that was a bad conclusion? How long has this been? Oof, this is taking a while. Okay. Let's see. So the 8s must be double 1 and a 6, or 1, 2, 5, or double 2, 4, but we've earmarked the 4. That's not possible. Yeah, so it is double 2, 6, or 1, 2, 5. Huh. What did I do wrong about that? Okay, we need a 3 as well. What about, and the 3 can't overlap with the 5. We know that. So the 3 goes down, actually, because the 4 is filled either way. Whichever way this domino is oriented, the 4 is filled. So the 3 does go down into the 8. So that we know. So the 3, could the 3 go down into the 8? I don't think it can, because then we'd need 5 to finish filling the 8, and we don't have any pips that do that. So that doesn't work. It could be the 3, 6 that goes down there and then have a double 1, and I think it needs to be. All right, so let's try that. Let's see if it works this time. And then we'd have a double 1 down here to fill the 8. That's done. Now we need a 1 poking out of the 1 into 5 or 6. The only possibility is the 6. So 1 goes into 6. Good. Now we still have to fill the 5, which has a double 5. We can no longer put it in the 7. Okay, this is already different from my last solve, so that's a good sign. So the 5 goes up into the 9, which actually confirms that 4 position in theory. Now we need 4 total to fill the 9, which we could do with a double 2. Then, yeah, this works. Then a 2 pokes down into the 7, and we finish the 7 with a double 3, making 6. There we go. Okay, I'm not quite sure what step. I obviously went wrong somewhere with my first attempt. If it was obvious to you at the time, maybe let me know in the comments. But I made some kind of logical error at that point, and then it worked better the second time. All right. Well, there we go. That was another day in Pips. Hopefully back tomorrow. Bye for now.